In this session, we are going to learn how to configure Xdebug with VS Code and local by Flywheel. So first up, I am going to create a new website. Once this is done, we are going to install one add-on, that is Xdebug plus VS Code. What this plugin does is create a launch.json file that is needed for Xdebug with VS Code. Once that is installed, we will have to relaunch this. Okay, you might get an error that local's router is having trouble starting. If this happens, just restart your system at this point. Now let's start local again. So this time our site started correctly. Now let's open the project in VS Code. You will need to ensure that this public directory is what you open in VS Code, or else it is not going to work. Now in tools, you will have Xdebug plus VS Code extension here. Now click on add run configuration to VS Code. Clicking this will create a .vscode directory with launch.json that is going to have the values for or parameters for Xdebug. In this, you will need to change the port to 9003 because that is the port that is being used by the new Xdebug, that is Xdebug 3. Now let's open our site. In your browser, you will need to install Xdebug helper extension as well. I'm going to pin it so that it's easier to access. Reload the page once and then put it to debug mode. Here in VS Code also, you will need to install this PHP extension, that is PHP debug extension. Once that is done, click on listen for Xdebug. Even now, since we do not have any breakpoints, it is not going to stop the execution. I am creating a breakpoint in wp-config because I know that this file is going to be used in every page load. So even now it is not working because there's an issue with the config that this extension is adding. So we will need to manually edit this php.ini file, and in here we will need to add xdebug.mod is equals to debug. After that, restart this service. As you can see, the breakpoint got executed. Whatever was there before the breakpoint got executed, and it is waiting for us to resume the code execution at the breakpoint. And whatever variables and super globals that were defined, we can see the value of them here.